So, if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't heard that Sydney Sweeney was in an American Eagle commercial.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Get it? Genes? Genes? Because she's attractive? And she is. I can see why men like her. She has a really cute face and a nice body. But personally, my favorite thing about Sydney Sweeney is that she's a Nazi. Did they mean to include a bunch of Nazi dog whistles in this? How the did she agree to this? Actual Nazi ad. The only way Sydney Sweeney would be okay with doing an ad like this is if she was a Nazi.
This is Nazi shit.
Okay, so that was very interesting, and I'm just coming across this recent ad by this actress, Sydney Sweeney. The ad was sponsored by American Eagle. It just caught my eye and attention as of recently, I would say in the last few days. And going into the weekend, this story has further electrified and more flames on the fire, as they say, right? And now I hear that it's got one side of the party feeling pretty bad, and I'm trying to keep it light and as less politics as I can, but also trying to lean into the fact that this is the reality of the situation we live in today. Now, I myself as a minority, as a South Asian man, right? When I look at this commercial, honestly, just very objectively, I didn't see anything wrong with this, to be honest. Nothing. To me, what I saw is what girls and women that we were trying to pursue back in our times looked like. And I'm Generation X. This girl, I would say, has the girl next door. She's very pretty, very young. She's at her prime, looks very wholesome. Doesn't matter what she does in her personal life, but I think the media got it right this time, in my personal opinion. Again, I don't know what I don't know, but I am going by intuition. I don't believe in the wokeism culture. That's caused a big problem and issue in my personal life. I have dropped out of my acting classes as of recently because they have tried to enforce and indoctrinate younger men, and I happen to be the voice behind reason, right? I'm the voice of reason that stood up and said, no, enough of the BS, that we're not wearing dresses and we're not doing certain roles if we're not comfortable, right? So you can check out those videos. I'm going to link it in the cards here, but I have a separate list on my acting path here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But when I saw this ad, it was very refreshing. And when I saw how both sides of the spectrum, you know, this side and this side, I'm trying to keep it very PC. I can see how extreme one side is reacting versus the other, right? In the last 8 years or so, we have had a rise in feminine men, right? And I talk about the emasculation of men and young boys in today's culture. I think there's something to be said. There's a lot of truth to that. And for me, I see this ad and commercial as a win for traditional masculinity and traditional relationships, making a comeback of what it used to be like. Because right now, dating in 2025, even 24 and 23, but it got really bad in 24 and it's really bad in 25. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? Let alone a boy or a man cannot walk up to a girl and just have a conversation, right? The social programming, the social anxiety, the social engineering, Instagram, Snapchat, social media, right? All these dating apps, right? It make it impossible, and you lose that real person-to-person approaches and what it's like to talk to people. You know, go to a doctor's appointment or a DMV appointment, go in a social setting. Even when you see two people on a date, everyone's got their head down. One person goes to the restroom on the phone, right? Even when you're having dinner, on the phone. Everyone is so programmed to look into their phone, you forget to enjoy what's around you and your surroundings, and most importantly, each other. Now, drifting here, but all in sort of sinking myself back into this topic here, I think this ad was genius, right? I've got great genes. I've got good genes, right? Genes are passed down from family to family. You know, it's a very clever play on words, I must say, by, Eagle. outfit, whatever that, I forgot the name of the jeans company, but Eagles, right? You got it. Very clever play on words there that I think has boded well, and it's made, oops, my watch here, and it's made public, so some people on that one side feel a certain way. And for me, when I see this girl, she's got no tattoos, right? No outrageous piercings, and she just looks like a normal, feminine, fresh, full of life looking girl. That's it. There's no racism here from my side. Like, I see what I see, and I like what I see. And you can't force attraction. You can't force attraction. You cannot indoctrinate, culturally speaking, you cannot indoctrinate men, young boys, and even women to feel certain ways. This, again, I'm trying to stay in my lane, but I'm just observing what I've seen and what I've experienced in my personal life, right? I come from a generation where I grew up on Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky movies, Rambo movies, Arnold, Van Damme, and I talk about all these throughout my channel. I make references to this, myself included. I mimicked Van Damme growing up, and I'm thankful to those heroes, because if it weren't for those toxic heroes, as they consider them today, I wouldn't have turned out this way, right? And athletically, I was blessed with a certain tools and the ability to move and adopt and catch on really quick to sports and athletics, and I paved the way forward today to the younger men that are looking for answers, right? So this particular commercial has me scratching my head as to why there's so much hate on this girl, right? Did we really believe that America was going down the right path? The effeminization of men, right? Men wearing dresses, the identity crisis that we're living in today, the wokeism culture that we're living in today, the corporate politics that drive certain movements, right? I got nothing against it, but it's so in my face that we have kind of reached a point that we need to be pushing back. So I'm taking a stance here, and I'm pushing back essentially. This is why I started YouTube, is my own platform to be able to voice how I feel and express myself, if you may, right? So this content may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I also know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. I was actually very proud to see that. And now Budweiser, from what I hear, there's a rumor that they're trying to repair their brand, because if you know Budweiser brand, a year or two ago, you kind of know what happened to that company itself. They lost a lot of male traditional guys, just men. They lost a large sector of their male population to never purchase and have Budweiser again, because there was a certain type of commercial that they pushed, which is, again, in my opinion, indoctrinating straight heterosexual guys or heterosexual traditional men, right? And making a statement that was unnecessary and way out of the spectrum. Like, it was leaning way to one side. Like, it's not even funny anymore. And then you're going to try to say that's normal, that's how men should be. No, that's not, man. And this is why I say Generation X is one of the most slept on generations out there. And we are woke. We have woken up. We have been awakened to all the madness that's been going on here, right? Let me take that back. I'm not saying that I'm the oak guy, and I don't want no part of that, which is why I personally voted a certain way this year, and I don't keep it a secret. Without going into specifics, I think you can kind of pick up where I'm going with this, is that I welcome this ad with open arms, and I smile. It's refreshing to see a normal ad. It's refreshing to see a normal ad. Let me say that again, right? No agenda, nothing that's on the screen that has me saying, what is that? Is that what I think it is, or is that what I think it's not? Like, I am so confused sometimes when I see these commercials. Like, and the way these commercials play out, they normalize it and they make it so good to the point where you start questioning your own reality. Like, am I the crazy one here? First of all, I'm not, and I know I never was. I am very happy that this commercial has been done this way because it's pissing off one side of the party, but that's not why I'm happy, because I welcome this for a change. I'm exhausted of the wokeism culture. I'm exhausted of that continuously being a theme and them feeling some sort of way about straight heterosexual men like me that just want normal relationships with a woman, with a girl, right? And let alone hating on a man like myself that has principles and morals I grew up on. This is why I think sports like soccer, martial arts for me, and even acting out some heroic roles in my films that I've done, these energies have shaped my path as a man. And when abnormal people see that in today's culture and society, it rubs them off the wrong way. You're a toxic man. I'm not. I grew up fighting. I grew up in combat sports, right? I grew up in New Zealand, came to America, and I had a very tough upbringing, childhood. So this ad, by the way, Sydney Sweeney, I believe, is a Gen Z. And way to go, Gen Z. As I said in one of my Instagram posts on my fitness page, that I think it's going to be Gen Z women who are suffering, but who are also turning a tide and shifting when it comes to this movement and turning a corner and shape-shifting sort of where we need to go. And it's going to start with Gen Z, because this is where we're at. And so hats off to her that this commercial was a success, and Budweiser will soon hopefully make her the offer. And although the damage has been done with that beer company, I think that over time, this movement that we're seeing, the shift away from wokeism to traditionalism, is nothing but loved. I know there's a movement called the fat acceptance movement. Boy, I can't get myself to believe that that's going to be good for your health. I can't believe that that's actually the standard that we've been, the staple of where we were. It's not here, we were here. Like, we dropped this low. And it's a shame. People laugh at American culture. So now that we're trying to go back to how things were normal, right? That's normal. All of a sudden, normal is considered toxic. Just because she's fit, slim, she probably smells really good. She looks clean. Her body is not tattooed up, and if she had a small tattoo here or there, it's okay. But she's got nice skin. It's refreshing, full of vigor, youth. Okay, and very objectively, I'm saying this, and very feminine. And she looked great doing the commercial. So I don't see what the fuss was. I understand why the fuss was. I don't personally see why the hate. I understand the hate. Two different things. This is politics at play right here. I welcome the corner, the tide that we're shifting toward. I think this marks the comeback to traditional relationships, traditional masculinity, and the way I knew femininity to be. Just a quick video on my thoughts on this. Until the next video, guys, Mamba out.